This is CJ at the office of Moving Pictures director and producer Joe Brandmeier. Look at all those awards. With this collection, it's not astonishing that Joe won another for his pet project about marriage. I do?
Yeah, play.
Although, Joe sounds surprised.
Just released on iTunes and Amazon, so that's kind of a big deal. We're pretty excited about that. We just got an official selection to the Bahamas International Film Festival.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
So that's a big one, and Johnny Depp and Nicolas Cage were there last year. So it's a destination festival. So we're pretty excited about that. And even last year, took Best Documentary in Twin Cities Film Festival, and that one really surprised us. I think it's resonating with people because it's very simple. They just don't want to get bombarded by negative stuff anymore, so they go to see something that they can relate to.
Got it. But did I mention that this documentary grew out of a rough patch near the 20-year mark in Joe's now nearly 29-year marriage? He's the husband of beloved Twin Cities media sweetheart, Joan Steffend, who's on her way to the Minnesota Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
So now I can't look her directly in the eyes anymore.
Well, because she's a Hall of Fame.
She's a Hall of Famer, so.
Great.
I have to either text her or maybe it's just an email or yell.
What have you gotten out of making a movie about marriage?
I think what I got out of it, I think our relationship was stronger, believe it or not. Yeah, because you'd think because of the sensitivity of some of the questions and issues and stuff, we might have drifted a little bit. But actually, because of her background, obviously my background, it was great because we worked on it together. It was always driven by me and my curiosity. But once I got going and she started hearing some of the stuff, I just really needed her help because, hours and hours and hours of interviews. So she came in and started looking at some of the stuff and helping me little by little. We started working together and kind of took ownership of it, or she kind of took ownership of it. So I actually think it made our relationship better.
Okay. Wendy Williams says that marriage is becoming either less necessary or obsolete.
That's why I did the documentary. I think it's the silliest thing there is. Actually, Joan will tell you the story where I was out with my stepdaughter and her then fiance, and I just said, I just think marriage is stupid. And I got kind of kicked under the table by Joan. It's like, what are you saying? They're ready to get married. Like I said, we've been married 29 years almost. So it's not about this, the ring or the piece of paper. It's about the relationship. But I think the concept, which is why I approached it, and obviously with my background, it's lighthearted because I don't want to, try to change the world. But it's just a silly concept. I think fewer and fewer people are doing it because I don't think they think it's necessary.
What would make you say marriage is stupid in front of your wife? That's a lot.
Well, that's an excellent question. I really have no idea. I think that was the start of it.
Do you remember the toughest fight you ever had?
Absolutely, and it's in this bracelet right now. She gave it to me. It says, "Better together than we are apart," and that was kind of the basis of the documentaries because we were at somewhere I want to say 18, 19-year mark. Exhausted, just can't do this anymore. And right behind you, actually, I was on the bottom of those steps, and bags packed, ready to go our separate ways. I can't do this anymore. And she just looked down at me with that beautiful voice of hers.
The voice.
Welcome to my house.
And that face of hers, and she just said, ultimately we're better together than we are apart. And I walked out, but it just haunted me, and basically that brought me back and kept us together because I think really we're better together than we are apart. I bring a little, something to her, and she brings a lot to me, and we're better together.
What's the most important element of keeping your marriage healthy?
I think just laughter. I think we just laugh at everything.
What's the most romantic gesture you've ever made?
I brought her to Lambeau Field. No. I'm just kidding. We're kind of anti Valentine's and stuff like that because certainly she doesn't like to be told when to be romantic, but she's not a material person by any means, so it's more of a family thing. I think it's more of doing stuff with family and with people and kids. But if you're looking at something else besides that, I got her this surprise gift to Hamilton, Broadway, New York for Christmas. And it was that element of surprise. So if you can do the element of surprise, then it usually works.
Did she say about Hamilton that made you know that would...
She's just enamored with Lin-Manuel. She's just, with the whole concept in him and the creativity and the piece and the story. She's just always been really moved by it. So I thought it was, and she talked about it many times, and so I thought, okay. And the tickets are impossible to get, plus they're really expensive. So I went out and sold my body on the streets of New York for a month or so and raised enough money to buy some tickets.
You have those $800 tickets. You're laughing.
$80 tickets. No. They were expensive. But the first thing I said to her, because as you know from her background, HCTV, decorated cents, under $500.
Right.
She looked at me and says, "How much?" And I went, "I would really like not to tell you if that's okay." So from that point on, she never asked me how much it was.
No, I just turned them on.
Well, they're on right now. So don't say anything bad about you or Joan right now,
Go right ahead.
because you'll use it. I love Joan.
Yeah, got to be a lot of pressure being married to the Twin Cities sweetheart.